Good evening and namaste to all of you from Bengaluru. I am Dr. Prachi Beriwala, country advisor, G100 Oneness and Wisdom, a platform like many other platforms created by our own sister, Dr. Harbeen Rai Arora. And our country chair is Dr. Anu Nadampalli. And here I am today with the first session of 2026. Yes. Every month we have some or another topic to be discussed. We brainstorm, we gain a lot of wisdom, we discuss a lot of things. And this time we are starting 2026 with emotional strength. So let me start with a quote. Never be ashamed about being broken because the strength is nothing but pain that's been repaired. So here I am with my beautiful ladies starting the show, starting with Sri Vidya. Starting with Anu. Can you please introduce yourself?
That's okay. Srividya can go first. Okay. Thank you once again, Prachi, for kicking off this year with a bang, with full of strength, I should say. So my name is Anu Nadimpalli. I am the country chair for G100 Oneness and Wisdom. And that's it, because this is your show, and just like every month that we do this, um, one of us, this is our India country, and we pick a topic and flow with it. And this month, this year, I'm so happy that our country advisor, uh, Prachi Beriwala, has kicked us off in such a grand and wonderful way. Thank you so much.
Pleasure is mine. Sri Vidya, over to you.
Yeah, so Happy New Year to all of us. So we're meeting for the first time, and I'm sure this is going to be new beginnings and new learnings. Yeah. So, introducing myself, I'm Srividya Mohan, Mumbai City Chair, G100 Oneness and Wisdom. I'm looking forward to this wonderful, wonderful session on emotional strength. Yeah.
Welcome, Sri Vidya. Ananya, over to you.
Hi, and wish you all a very good evening or good morning from whichever part of the world you are. Yes, our first meeting of 2026, and I'm very excited to join Prachi and Anu. I'm the city chair of G100 of Kolkata, and I'm glad to be a part of today.
Welcome, Ananya. Thinlas, over to you.
Hi everyone, like Happy New Year, Happy Christmas. We are just meeting first time. So I'm from Ladakh. I'm city chairs of 100 years of wisdom.
Welcome, Thinlas. So, starting the show with emotional strength. Now, the question arises, why did I choose this topic? I think, the life is all about, everything is all about changes, and change has become inevitable in our life. The way AI is growing, the way technology overnight they're changing, the way our adaptability is happening. I think there is a lot of resilience we required in our life, all of us. So, starting the year with the wisdom from my beautiful ladies, with a lot of like professional as well as personal reflection from their own lives related to how to be emotionally strong, because I believe emotionally strong does not mean that you need to compromise. Emotionally strong does not mean that you need to bear the pain all your life. It means to identify, to accept, and to acknowledge what is actually happening to our own mental well-being. And I think it's very, very important to realize what emotions, at what moment we are facing, and showing our inner strength over there. So, starting this show with my beautiful country chair and other state chairs. So, Srividya, my first question goes to you. In your experience, Srividya, my first question goes to you. In your experience, what does emotional strength truly means in today's world?
Okay. Okay, so what does emotional strength truly mean? In one sentence, if I have to say that, is the ability to be in the present moment, wherein we know exactly how we feel and what we want from the situation. So these are the two things which normally gets like, in our reaction, we tend to either we don't realize, okay, what exactly we want or how exactly we feel. So emotional strength is to be the buffalo in the rain, in the storm, in the midst of a storm. That is emotional strength. You be the buffalo when the storm is there, because not if you go with the storm, you're not going to reach anywhere. You just need to allow it to pass. So the strength to stay where you are amidst the confusion, knowing fully well I'm in a discomfort zone or whatever zone I'm in, but stay put. That is emotional strength.
Wow. I really like the
Mm.
phrase buffalo in the middle of the storm.
But
Tinless, over to you.
mm, for me, is emotionally strength is we need to like control, like we have to be like strong and how to deal with the situation, so we able to carry on based on a situation and based on the country, and because here is like in the world now is difficult to deal with the emotional until and unless we are focused on our emotional like strength, ability to deal with the situation. And also in this modern world is it's difficult, and also after the lockdowns, so it's difficult to deal with the emotional, but we have to be like control our mind and be patient with it, and I think that's where we able to deal with the emotional. So that is my point.
That's wonderful, Tinless. I really like the way you have put it across post-COVID thing. And then over to you.
Mm.
Thank you, Prachi. So I would second Sri Vidya. Uh, that feeling what we are feeling to our truest power and potential, and not escaping the pain or the suffering that we are meant to pass through, because this life is all about experiencing and reaching the purpose for which we have taken the birth. So for us in today's world, emotional strength will be feeling where you are and staying put, rightly said by Srividya. Along with that, also, I would like to add is emotional strength. Somebody said this, some scientist said this, and I remember it perfectly well. When you feel your emotional strength is going down, you should push yourself physically. And when you feel physically you're tired, you should push yourself emotionally and mentally. So,
Mm.
this is just an add on that just came to my mind, and I thought I'll just add on. Rest, I would completely, yeah, second with Shivya.
Anu, over to you. Thank you so much, Ananya, for bringing this perspective of physical strength along with emotional strength.
Mm. Yeah, I
Anu,
mean,
over to you.
I think all of you have made such amazing points. You're so right. It's about physical. We don't realize that emotion strength has to do with physical strength also. And then we don't, and just to give an example, just to continue this, give an example when we're feeling, when do we feel low? When we are feeling weak in our body also, right? When we're saying, oh,
Mm.
okay, then I'm feeling sick or whatever, that's when even somehow this also gets affected because we are all, after all, from top to bottom, the same. But I feel like just to bring out what for me emotional strength has been is just to be calm in the storm. Whatever happens around you, and I think I'm sure you guys have raised this topic also. Just and when I say around you, it could be just the bombarding from TV or from the whatever, bad influences in your life, or or just the relationships we are in, which we don't realize we are in, which are not really healthy for us, but we are still in it, those kinds of things. And so they keep, layering. So that can sap emotional strength. And so how do you tackle that? How do you say that, look, I'm bigger than this, or whatever? uh, I guess you start with, being calm, and then when you're calm, you start listening to your inner being, inner soul. And because once I start being reactive, then I cannot hear myself, my own heart, and um, saying feeling something else. So for me, I had to learn that big lesson, that, okay, you know what, it may be coming towards me, but the way to push it back is to just, go back into my own calmness, or into my own self, and just ask that question, okay, what do we do now? What do I do now? Should I react to it? Should I jump and you know um, defend myself, or whatever? But no, I don't need to do that. I can just, stay in my own zone. And that actually, I mean, silence is strength. That's what I realized in my life, like, just being that silent, like they say, right, Buddha, like, why, I mean, he doesn't let anybody, hit him or anything, because just by being calm, you're from top to bottom, all your chakras, you're being, you're in even. And so that itself is strength, because then people will, back off, because they realize you're not being affected. You're not getting affected by anything, that's being thrown at you. So that, for me, that is strength. Silence or calm is strength. And I've tried to live. I'm still learning how to do that in many ways. So thank you for the question. It was wonderful.
Thank you, Anu, for bringing this perspective. No, I don't know. I personally feel that all of us, like, through the reflection of first question, are into that Buddha zone. If I take as per Anu's, reflection, or if I take especially Vidya or Nana's reflection, a buffalo in the storm, right? So there must be some instance, there must be something which would have happened in our life, due to which we have gained this wisdom of being emotionally strong. So, and see, in G100 Oneness and Wisdom, we don't only give gyan, we also give our personal life reflection. So, people may carry some lessons out of it. So, Shri Vidya, like, what was that moment which made you emotionally strong?
Yeah, I would definitely share a very recent experience. Okay. So just 10 weeks back, okay, I became a grandmom. So, like, we went for the delivery. And yeah, so about me, I'm very fond of children. Okay. And I've been working with children for almost 20 years now. And I'm a parent wellness coach as well. Now, with the new generation, there are so many changes. Okay, right from the birthing process to how they actually have plans to for the baby, it is 360-degree difference. Okay, everything is different. So for me now, I'll be more closer to my grandchild, because all grandparents know that you get more closer to the grandchild than your own child. Okay, so my grandson, I'm emotionally too connected with him. So everything that happens, I want it to be the best, or like, it has to be the right thing. But come again, like, it, as I told you, there is a vast difference. Just to give an example, they were trying to sleep train the child at, when he was just 10 days old. And as a counselor, as a parent wellness coach, I know, because people come back to me when the child is sick with anxiety attack and all that, because that stems from there. So this is something that happens. So that was the emotionally challenging moment for me. How do I respond and not react? So first thing is, I validated. I'm feeling completely off about this. Things are going. just way out of what of my belief system. So it took me 2 to 3 days to accept, kind of come to that point that yes, what I'm seeing is not what I believe in. But I also believe in. So what helped me to stay back was another another thought which I follow, and I tell parents or and everybody in a family that the mother knows what is best for the child. Any mother child combination, we should never break into that. Whatever, however they do it, mother is primary. Okay, there has to be a central authority for every child. So that thought helped me in this situation. Okay, whatever is happening around me, my daughter-in-law, she is the mother of the child. Okay, so I go with her because I don't want to come between mother and child. So maybe for the child that is best. Okay, whatever the mother does, and they will learn through the process. So that is what helped me. So both the points, because we keep practicing for emotional strength. Most important is validating our own feelings. So I literally took those 3 to 4 days to tell and accept that yes, this is something which is beyond me, but still, how do I go through that? So then that would guide us to the next path as to how do we respond and what is the thought that will help us. So yeah, so that is how I just kind of wade through that.
First of all, congratulations, Granny
Thank
Srividya.
you.
Really, really good to hear that, and I'm so proud of you. Really proud of you, because in Indian context, it is very difficult for a grandmom to behave that way.
Yeah.
That's that kind of I'm really so proud of you. You have given me a lesson for life now. This is the right process. I think really, really good, really good. Thank you, Shividya, for sharing it. What
Yeah.
about you, Ananya?
Thank you, Prachi. For me, Um, not recent experience. It has been my last, I think, 3, 4 years back experience when I was laid off suddenly the morning I got a confirmation. The same afternoon, I was asked to leave my laptop and leave the job. So it was surprising. It was emotionally draining. At the same time, I had left my kids back home in Calcutta and was in Bangalore. So I was planning to relocate with the kids again to Bangalore. And somewhere I felt it's a sign from God. So whenever I feel low, I only go to temples or sit down in solace and something, as Anu was saying, I listen to my inner soul. So I get my answers when I sit in silence for any difficult situation, emotionally or physically. And I think that was the right call probably for me, because my son was missing me very, very much. And leaving my kids with my mom at this age, it wasn't her duty to, because I was thinking, what is my fault? That is when my seeking to spirituality began altogether. But then I got my answers. Everything happens for the best. So, yeah, that is how I dealt. Thank you.
I agree, Ananya. I think emotional strength, somewhere, I don't know, maybe because I'm a little spiritually inclined person, I feel it has to be something when we start seeing good in everything. And okay, this happened. This has to, God has given me some kind of hint. This has to be the best for me. So I think that somehow give us a lot of strength.
Yeah,
So
that
yeah,
blind trust on the creator is what,
Mm.
yeah, exactly what you're saying. The blind trust on the creator has always been my strength. Prayers and grounding activities just add on to it. That's it.
wonderful, wonderful. What about you, Thinless?
Yeah, for me, it's like I born in the Himalayas. Since I was small, we have been like struggling and like challenging all emotional. So I have been dealing lots of things with the limited resources in Ladakh, with education and so many like different language, like learning different languages. But parents are farmer, so it has been like learning since I'm small, like how to be becoming emotionally strong. But then it's become very difficult after COVID because it was completely shut. Everything, my business and everything, it was so difficult during that time. It was challenging. So we then there are few like recently still we are dealing with it. It's a bad incident happened in Ladakh on 24th September. So still all Ladakh is dealing like even I am like emotionally how to be come out of it, and our leader are in jail without any reason. So it's still difficult, but we are still learning it to be how to overcome all this, like how to deal with the situation now. So that is my still I'm learning, means still struggling on it. Yeah.
More power to you, Thinless, and prayer for you and your region. Thank you for
Mm.
sharing it. Anu, over to you.
Yeah, all the very best, Thinless. And it's so nice to see what you said. You're still learning, still learning to cope. And this is the thing, right? With our
Mm.
um, incidents, whatever, happens to us, it can take years sometimes for some people, for to get
Mm.
over, whether it is family or whether it is circumstances. And very true. And it, gaining emotional strength, it's a lifelong experience, right? At least I
Mm.
feel that, because maybe as a kid we snapped out of it much faster, but as we go older, uh, like just the layers that we come across, and we get close to more people, right? So then that
Mm.
becomes more and more difficult. And so yeah, so all the very best. And yeah, congratulations, Srividya. All right. And like Prachi said, yeah, I mean, hey, hats off to you, because it's very difficult to unlearn, right?
Right,
I
yeah.
mean, or force ourselves to unlearn. Who wants to unlearn? We want to learn, and we want to, show people what we learned. But look at you. I mean, hats off to, and being the mother-in-law, you're setting an example of how you should how however difficult it is to let go, and yeah, for the kids. So that's what came to mind, let go, oh, it's very difficult. Yeah. Okay, anyway, I have to say about me personally, it is basically since I'm going to say since September. I mean, I've had a company since 2015, and it's been up and down. And even strangely enough, even during COVID era, I've it was pretty good um, until until 2022, when things actually started dropping, thanks to I blame I'm very it's very easy to blame, right? So I blame AI and this and that and the war and this and so it was very easy doing that for a few years. Then I said, you know what, I still have to take responsibility. But what's been happening is things since September, things have been showing up. The government of I live in Barcelona, Spain, so the government of Spain has recognized my company as a fully sustainable fashion company. Thank you so much. And strangely enough, that has been the challenge, believe it or not, because I mean, okay, wow, it was not just an award that they gave me and said go home. That's when the actual battle started. So we've been going through this, and everything here is in Spanish. So, and Catalan, it's another language that they speak locally. So all the classes, I call them classes, like sessions, all the sessions have been in Spanish and Catalan. And so my brain has been, I think it grew because I thought I knew Spanish until now. But you were telling Thinless, learning different languages. Oh my God, I'm 50. 5+. Okay, come on, leave me alone. It's like, learning and relearning and unlearning. That's where, I'm talking about unlearning certain things and relearning some language, especially language and communication has been my biggest challenge. And people are saying I'm doing okay, meaning they are understanding what I'm saying. But simple, I mean, I never thought that it would come back to just the basics, like just communicating, what I do in a totally different language. So that has been my biggest challenge. And emotional strength, I guess I'm, learning how to get there. The emotional strength for me, again, just very quickly, is that like tiny little celebrations, like tiny little victories. Like, if I go and if, like we go to a marketplace or whatever, and I'm completely conversing in a language. And yeah, thank you. It's 1 minute left to go. So um, c- language, and I do a good job. I celebrate like a child has ice cream. Okay, I mean, like, forget it. This is my time, because and that actually keeps me going, seriously enough. Just, celebrating the tiny little victories that we, instead of just saying, oh, okay, it's just gone, okay, I did this. No, I did it. I'm going to celebrate it because that was an emotional victory. Whatever little, however, whatever we are going through, whatever little victory um, we are experiencing, or whatever little battle we've just conquered. I think it's very important to celebrate it, just even if it's for a few minutes, and say, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I did this. Now, we can do so, I can do more now, and, increase that. So for me, emotional strength is really conquering those little, tiny little battles, and celebrating um, like a child. Okay, just a second.
Thank you so much, Anu, for giving the reflection about that, how emotional strength slowly and gradually built in. Now, talking about the emotional strength side and the personal side, how we all developed, uh, there must be something, like, the people who are really struggling with this, like, how to develop emotional strength, or how to be emotionally strong, or how to identify that they're emotionally weak, right? So Shivida, would like to start with you first. Like, tell something, some tips to the audience, like
Yes,
something they
sitting
can
from my
practice in
bank
their
account.
day-to-day life and develop emotional strength.
Yeah.
Want to
Okay.
ask Thinless, you want to mute
Mute.
yourself
Okay.
if you're talking? Yeah,
Yeah. Emotional
mute.
strength is actually a habit which can be developed. Okay. Our brain is wired that way. We can learn everything. So, what is emotional strength? It is, how do we look at situations which are comfortable and not so comfortable for us? We will go through all the situations. How do we go through those situations? That is emotional strength, right? So without faltering, or without really going low, or without really going up. So as Bhagavad Gita, this is exactly what even in Bhagavad Gita they say the same thing. You look at sadness and happiness in the same way, equilibrium in both the situations. Okay. So coming back to the tips, all right. The most easiest and 100% workable tip is breathe. The moment you know you're not feeling good, give more oxygen to the brain. Because physical, and as Ananya said, physical and emotional thing is connected. So the moment we give oxygen to the brain gets the message, all is well. The muscles will be relaxed. Okay. So our thought process will change for sure. Okay. So it works in two ways. One, when you tell yourself, okay, I am in this zone where I'm not feeling good, Let me first breathe. So you're validating your own feelings that I'm not feeling good. It's accepted. Okay. And then you're moving on to the action mode. Let me breathe. So breathe is conscious breathing, wherein inhale for a count of 4 and exhale for a count of 6 or 8. Do that for 5 rounds. It hardly takes less than 2 minutes. Okay. So we just stay put, we breathe, and then what happens is the clutter goes off. Then we ask ourselves, so it is like a step. Okay. Then we ask ourselves that question: what do I want now? Required action. What do I want now? And communicate that. First, we need to ask ourselves, okay, what exactly do we want? Okay, so that has to be in 4 or 5 words. So this pause is the best way to develop emotional strength. Every situation, we have to validate our feelings, pause, and reflect on the required action. What do I want? I may get it, I may not get it, but I have to put it in words. This is what I want. Okay, I don't get it. That is the next part. Or I get it. So both ways it works. And just taking one more bit, why validation helps. The easiest example to remember is when the milk is very hot, okay, we leave it alone. The cream comes on top. If we just leave it like that, we can remove the cream. Validation is like that. Okay. We just remove it. If we keep on stirring it, we won't get anything. It will just get mixed up. So this breathing and these steps would help us. Okay, this is what I don't want. This is what I want. This is the way we can actually develop emotional strength.
Wow. I am really like, what do I say? It's amazing. Amazing, Srividya. Thank you so much. Ananya, over to you.
Thank you. So I always follow this three-step process, very close to Sri Vidya, as she said. But I always ask my clients as well to just take a pause whenever they are feeling a discomfort, an uncomfortable situation, either sitting in their place or they can go out in the nature, take a walk, pause, like pause for 5-10 seconds. And then, as Srividya said, validate your feeling by naming what are you feeling: jealousy, pain, shame, whatever it is. We need to validate by naming the feeling. When we name the feeling, I generally share this emotional wheel with my clients for them to help. If you look up in Google, you'll see an emotional wheel. So there are 5 basic emotions, sad, happy, excited, and fear. And then there are multiple more branches of these feelings. Which exactly am I feeling right now? Once you name it, then you start doing the deep breathing. So, deep breathing, as Srividya mentioned, I just abide by that and I tell my clients to do that because that's the only thing that can calm you down and also open up your brain to think something better is coming or is helping you move forward. So, yeah, so following these 3 steps: pause, name the feeling, and then deep breathing. That would be it.
That's lovely, Ananya. Lovely. I think, and these tips are not that tough that people can't adopt it in their own lives, right? It's very simple process, right? Anu, what do you want to add upon this?
Excuse me. Just to give you an update, Thinless, her internet is slow, so she's not able to join,
No.
rejoin. So yeah, for me, so I'm an artist, and for me, I don't know whether it's to do with the fact that I'm an artist or not, but when something is not working out, the way I want it to work out, I basically get up and get out of that situation. I mean, it's not that I'm getting out of the house or anything, but basically, if something is not working out the way I want it to work, or maybe something is troubling in there, or there's some kind of unrest, I like to just, whether it's mentally or physically, just do something else, go, wash the dishes or whatever, cook or something, do something very different other than, what I'm actually doing, and come back with a fresh face again, fresh look again. So that helps to me, just, and when I'm talking again, I'm talking from my professional angle. I'm an artist, and I'm doing some project or whatever, or you know dealing with some troubled client or whatever, whoever it is, and I'm not able to uh, get the message through, or whether it is um, yeah, a project that's, stuck, and it's not moving forward. So then, yeah, so for me, that's emotional strength is there, for me, because I don't want to, I mean, if I the whole another way of saying it is, the tighter I hold it, the worse it gets. so so that's the thing. It's like you have to like release and just let go, and then just let it just pass. So for me, I handle it that way. So hope it helps.
Yeah, it works sometimes, just letting go of things, that moment works. Sometimes, breathing works. Sometimes, doing something which, that's why I always, tell my students as well, you must have one hobby. And the hobby should not be playing mobile games. That's not a hobby. Because, something which soothes your mind, something which relaxes you, something which gets more stability in your emotions, that's a hobby. So I think, when we used to have, as a kid, all of us, I'm pretty sure all of you will agree to this. The teachers used to always ask us a question, what's your hobby? And they used to make us write essays on hobbies, where in this AI era, it has evaporated. So I feel bad for this generation, because they hardly have, they might not even know what is hobby, like if you ask them, like, oh, I sleep. Sleeping is not a hobby. Sleeping is a hobby, something which you do with your eyes open. And sometimes I feel, because I agree with Anu, like, even when I have my own lows, I'm very fond of mehendi. I just, like, sit and that evening I apply mehendi, or I do mandala art. That actually soothes me. Or I listen to music and I go for walks. So sometimes being in nature also helps a lot. I don't know, matlab, like there's a lake behind my house, that sunset, peacock, birds, and the chirping sound, everything just, it relaxes. So everybody, I think, has their own way. So I believe, like being emotionally strong. Do you think, Ananya, being emotionally strong means emotionally disconnect?
Not at all, not at all. Emotional disconnect is when we shut down, when we don't hear ourselves. What exactly are we feeling? That is the emotional disconnect. But when we, and we don't really, I don't know if everyone would agree, but many a times, like Anu just said, that when she does not like a situation, she'll walk away. Maybe the others might see her as if she's shutting herself down. No, she is trying to solve that situation in her own way. So not everything will go as per my way. That is something also we have to absorb and understand from others' perspective. So once we make peace with everybody has their own way to deal with, actually no one is emotionally disconnected. Everybody feels, especially if we see the basic difference between feminine and masculine energy. Men also feel, they just don't show, they shut down. Why? Because probably we talk a lot, we express a lot. Women are very free with their words. That is, I think, God's willingness, that we are very easily, we open up to our feelings, and men kind of, they don't open up, or they feel shy as per the patriarchal society, because they are not supposed to show the feelings. That is how they are being brought up. So I think that is the prime reason. But emotional shutdown and emotional intelligence are two very different things. But adapting to each other takes time, and understanding that who is shutting down, we really can't say just by looking at a person or we're just seeing their attitude, because we really don't know who is shut down, because there are a lot of, what I should say, conditioning happening since the child was very young, how he was conditioned at home, how his upbringing is. There are so many background to a person. We don't know the story. So it's hard to tell. Yeah.
I also believe sometimes, getting emotionally disconnected make you more strong. So, depending upon the situation, not necessarily all the time, but yes, it works. Being emotionally disconnected may make you strong in another way. So, yeah. Shrivita, what about you? What do you want to add upon it?
Yeah, the answer to your question that came is um, not getting emotionally disconnected is emotional strength. Okay. So, yeah, see, some principles do help us. That with experience, each one of us have different lines of thoughts, like, the thought for the day kind of a thing, which, like which I gave you in the beginning, like, every mother knows what is best for the child. So that is the baseline. Okay. So then you start looking at things in that manner, it kinds of work. Similarly, when we learn to be emotional strong, one statement that has helped me as a person is there can be more than one rights. One right and one wrong cannot coexist. 100 rights can coexist. So it's okay. The four of us can have four different rights and we can still coexist. So that acceptance is emotional strength. So whenever we think so the disconnect is we are actually disconnecting our perceptions being forced onto others. But at the same time, we are not being like, not letting go of our perception. I am right. You are also right. We come to that position. We should not let go of I am right. So that has to stay in place. And everybody, think about it. 100 people can be right at the same time. There is no written law that one is right or the other person is wrong. So that is emotional strength. Coming to that point is emotional strength.
Anu, what about you?
Wonderful. I mean, seriously, guys, this is why I get so kicked when I see these events. No, very true. And just accepting the fact that, just because I am right, that doesn't mean the whole world has to be wrong. Okay. Accepting that and however tough it is for some people, yeah, yeah. Okay. So for me, disconnect. So I'm gonna flip that question around because I'm an artist and I can do anything I want. Sorry. No, I'm gonna say, how about we, instead of like, okay, we got a something coming in that's got emotional baggage attached, right? So now, what do we do? Should we disconnect and get out, or do we actually, let's say we absorbed it, actually cry, and feel that right then. And I want to stress on the word cry. I don't know if your next question was about this, but Prachi, if I stole your next question, but I wanted to ask every one of you about that, like, you know, as we were growing up, in our generation is similar. Oh, don't cry. You're not allowed to cry. You look weak, right? If you cry, and especially boys, unfortunately, than girls. But the reason I've brought that up because I've been a crier all my life. It's like because should I say I wear my emotions on my sleeve. So a lot of things, whether it's bad or good, I just like to experience that feeling and not so it's the opposite of your question, like I said. I flipped it, and you actually feel that crying, it through your tears rolling down. It doesn't need you're going to bawl or anything, but it's just that tears rolling. I don't know. I feel, I mean, again, I've gone through various phases of my life. Earlier embarrassed like anything, right? I'm going to die now because I've got that emotion welled up in me and I'm going to cry. So that's the worst thing in my life, as you're growing up. And then now I actually appreciate it. I actually said, wow, the fact that, even now or even at this, phase in your life or whatever, you're actually going through that raw emotion of, expressing yourself through, I mean, your whole, through your body or whatever, through your face or whatever it is. I don't know. I just feel that's a beautiful thing. What do you think? I flipped the question on you guys. Sorry. No, no, seriously. Is it, I mean, like to the scale of whatever, do you feel like sometimes you should just feel that emotion, and just, and when I say emotion, I don't mean bad only. I mean anything, any of them. It runs the gamut.
Yeah, becoming vulnerable is good. I mean,
Yes.
it's not bad at all because you are feeling the feeling to its truest point and to the fullest, basically.
Yeah.
And when you're feeling a feeling and understanding why it's making you cry, I think that's a beautiful feeling always. I mean, you're not trying to impress others around you. You're not trying to be untrue to your real core feelings. So being vulnerable is okay, but then understanding myself, why I cried, is more important. Doesn't matter what others think. For me, also, it's never, of course, initially, as Anuji was saying, even I was a crybaby, especially during my school days. Then I learned to cover it up. But then later in life, I understood that crying is not bad, becoming vulnerable is not bad. But then, just understanding the situation and not covering it up with wrong emotions is good. Being true to ourselves is more important. What do you have to say, Prachi and Srividya?
Actually, they'll first, like,
Yeah, I completely agree with both of your views. Just to add on, when we express our feelings, feeling the feelings is the first step. Like, it is the first aid. We need to do the first aid. We need to also cure the underlying problem as well. So once we feel the feelings, as Ananya said, we need to go to the next step as to, okay, because crying over the same thing repeatedly is not going to help us in any matter. So it should not become a habit, because we are all conditioned to make different kinds of habits, right? So yeah, so that's why I said it's a first aid. The first aid is required, but that is not the end solution, because we even vocab, if we actually see, we all are not native English speakers. Okay, we have our mother tongue. So what a word means is very different. Okay, sadness may have different definitions for the four of us. So the words may not at times completely relate to our inner feelings. That is why we have to go to the next step. So, like journaling or just a reflection. Okay, why? Okay, how bad does it hurt me? What made me cry? Because if at all we are feeling strong negative emotion, that means some part of us, we are giving the power to, it is an external factor over there. There is an external factor. So how do we want to, whether I want to keep it or continue? Fine. As long as I'm crying, I'm feeling good, I'm ready for the next part. That's fine. You choose. That's also okay. If this defense mechanism works for me, we can continue. But we should know that it is a defense mechanism. It will become a defense mechanism if repeated. Yeah, that's it.
agree. I think I agree with all three of you. Even I had been a crying baby, and I had been a crying baby just not even as a kid or an adult. As a grown-up adult, also have been a crying lady, I would say. But slowly and gradually, I realized, my tears are making me weak. It was not about expressing in front of somebody else, But it was like whenever I used to cry, I used to feel more weak. I used to feel more emotionally low. And then slowly and gradually, I think, once I started reading Bhagavad Gita on daily basis, I started, writing gratitude journal, and I started, I think accepting and being aware about my own emotions. It helped. And I feel, once you start healing internally, emotionally, you are able to heal yourself. So a lot of things change, a lot of patterns change in life, I think. So yeah. And with this, I would like to
Yeah. I
conclude
would
the
just
show.
like to add, because we are taking
Yeah,
a
please.
very heavy topic over here.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, so see, even the worst grief is any kind of losing a loved one. Okay, when you lose a loved one, actual grief we can come out in 21 days. So we all have an innate ability to overcome grief. That is the timeline. There is a timeline. So if at all we are crossing the timeline, then there is we can definitely help ourselves. That's it. So that we should trust our innate ability to overcome grief.
Thank you for bringing it up, Srividya. Now, with this, I would like to conclude the session. And I'm really, really thankful to all of you and Thilas in absentia. A lot of learnings from this session, and I would say 2026 started very, very well. And today's discussion, it was not about surviving changes. I think we learned how to thrive within it, right? How to build our inner stability in this unstable and unstable world, how to protect our mental well-being, how to adapt small things what you guys have given as a suggestion, and how do we adapt it in our day-to-day life and be more emotionally aware, right, and cultivate emotional intelligence as a life skill. So thank you so very much, Anu, for always being my support and trusting me that I can do it. Thank you so much, Ananya and Srividya, for being a part of it. And Tildas, thank you so much, everyone. Good night
Thank you
and take
so
care.
Thank you
much.
very
Thank you,
much to
everyone.
each one of
Thank you
you.
very much for a
Thanks.
wonderful topic, wonderful sessions, wonderful learnings.
Yes.
Thank you.
And thank
Thank
you
you.
all for supporting each other, for us supporting all of
Yes.
us together.
Yeah, and thank you, G100 Oneness and Wisdom.
Yes,
100%.
absolutely.
Thank you,
For
G100.
being oneness and wisdom, all of us.
Yeah.
Right? We are the oneness and wisdom.
Thank
Okay.
you so much.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.